favorite sailing place up here in Oerveld. They've got some nice boats there, from super gentle keel boats, very traditional kind of fishing sailing boat, all very seaworthy, up to a pretty sporty dagger boat. And so today we want to go out and sail on the lake a bit. It's a beautiful thing to do, active Serenity. I'm going to show you guys a little video about a beautiful German, very distinguished gentleman sailing a daggerboard version of the boat we sail as a keelboat. Beautiful thing. We'll see which boat we get today, we don't know yet, but sailing again in the boat, you're moving from kamae to kamae. We have kata for tacking and jibing, and it's different feelings. So, you know, if you're racing a really sharp boat, you're you're making very sharp movements, on edge. Shinken, sailing catamarans in big weather, you've got all sorts of armor, you're out there on the trapeze. Our kind of sailing for us today is much more natural movement, just being gentle, feeling what the wind's doing, exploring where the boat's going, getting into working as a team. So the skipper, he's sitting still at the back, doesn't move much, just really looking at where he's going, feeling the rudder, feeling the mainsail. Crew's job, very dynamic, moving around on the boat, sometimes on the trapeze in big weather, getting the boat to be just where we want it, looking after the head sail or fock at the front. In big weather, the fock gets cleated down and the crew's just moving around really fast, and the guy at the back, the skipper, is sitting very still in kamae, so kind of ichimonji no kamae, and he's adjusting the power with the mainsail and tweaking the rudder, and he's just looking everywhere all the time about where the boat's going to be going, and the crew's making sure that the boat's trimmed and taking all of the power that comes from the wind into the sail and turning it into speed for the boat all the time. And if you then make a mistake and the boat gets buried in the back of the next wave, even if the mainsail's all over the place and the crew and the skipper are out of kamae, it doesn't matter, because you've got the head sail is cleated. So it's pulling anyway, it doesn't matter where you are, it's going to pull the boat up out of the water and get it going at speed again, and it wants to be pulling the boat downhill, downwind, because it's only the head sail, so that the skipper and crew can get a moment to get themselves out of whatever chaos their body was in from getting slammed by the water and into kamae and get control of the boat. The skipper goes, okay, meaning telling the crew that he's got control of the tiller and the mainsail and is ready to sail. The crew goes, okay, meaning he's got his hand on the sheet for the head sail, he's got himself in the trapeze and he's ready to move, and they just continue. But in the meantime, the brave little jib on the front has been pulling the boat back up into speed, usually downwind, because it being just a head sail wants to pull the boat downwind. So usually now you're, depending on how fast you were going, what reach you were on, and how fast you recovered, and you're now going to be on a broad reach, usually either a beam reach or a broad reach, just going downhill, picking up speed, quite stable, so that you can then start to maneuver again. So dinghy sailing is a completely beautiful, especially two-man dinghy sailing, beautiful way of learning teamwork under duress, and moving from kamae to kamae, integrating katas for doing the maneuvers, and just finding beautiful things happening with the wind and you and the water, appreciating the shapes of the different boats that you're playing in and how they move through the water and how to sail them in a lovely way, sharp or fluid or just messing around, whatever you want to do. So that's our plan. This is the lake, and hope we're going to be able to get on it and have some fun with that, and we'll see you later. There's Ali. She's learning to sail. She's been on the boat a couple of times now. Once in a big squall that we had a couple of weekends ago, so pretty cool with things. Lots of experience on the lake with the SUP, so is used to the environment. And now we're gonna take some smart things, proper shoes here, keg. We'll be wearing a life jacket and having some fun. So we're sailing beautifully. Ali's moving down, staying down in the boat. She's going to the front here, to the bow. So whenever we get in the boat, we immediately do a naming of the parts just to orient ourselves. We say bow and stern, port and starboard, and we name all the parts. So masts and lines and shrouds and sheets, and jib sheets, main sheets and halyards. And we look at all of the parts of the boat, because by naming them, We're also finding out if they're functioning properly. We look back here at the traveler, we follow the lines along and make sure everything is good. And then by the time we get into our relaxed position, here we have another form of Ichimunji no kamae. So I have my hand on the tiller here, this foot is backwards, this foot is forwards, and my other hand will be down here on the main sheet. It doesn't have to be because I'm cleated right now. So I'm just moving the boat around with both of the sails cleated, which means that when the wind changes, I just change the boat. I just put the boat in a new place where it's good for the wind to be from that place. And it's the same thing as when you're dealing with an opponent. You don't have to do anything. So she's just going to stay in the front. And since we're coming quite close to the shore, I'm just going to tack the boat without doing anything other than just moving the tiller. Here we go. Tacking the boat is also a kata. She's going to go down with her head. We're going to come through the wind. The fock is going to back automatically. The sail is going to come into the new position. I'm just going to bear off a little bit because the fock is pulling us. This is what I talked about earlier. The fock, if you let everything go, the front sail will pull you downwind. So when you get into your new position and everything is groovy, then you just reach forward, you uncleat the front line. Can you just uncleat that sheet? Yep, just uncleat it. Yep, let it go. Okay, and then you can casually reach forward, bring the sheet in, and you've done the tacking kata. Okay, so it's all like that. Absolutely relaxed. There you go, see? Nothing to it. We take the kneeling work, yeah, from our close combat schools. Okay, how to go from kneeling, how to be avoiding getting hit, avoiding getting hit by the boom as you're moving around in a turbulent environment on your knees. But of course, it's exactly taijutsu. All right, different kamae, moving from kamae to kamae, getting around the boat. So Ali, you want to move over here and just show us how you're moving from one stable position to another. You've got your hand, one hand for the boat, one hand for your movement, staying low. There you go. There you go, staying low. Good girl. Yep. There you go. And then you're just going to work on where is the boat now. Sit in just the right position to make it go beautifully. There, that's beautiful sailing. There we have it. That's beautiful sailing. Right, exactly how you do it. And you look at the mast, and you see where is the sail being. So here you see the sail is slightly, what we call luffing. So you just come downhill a little bit until it's not doing that anymore, and then you know that the sail is putting optimal translation of these beautiful breezes into forward motion, which is what you want. And then you can start to feel the boat. This is quite a beautiful boat. It's a sort of a plastic version of a beautiful wooden ocean-going dinghy, and it's great because it's basically unbreakable. We've been out on this boat in huge weather, big squalls coming in from the side there, and it just doesn't care. It's got a nice big fat keel in it, you can sit in the bottom, everything is safe and lovely, and yet it still behaves in a nice way, and you can sail it. So we're going to do that for a while, and I hope you enjoy. For ninjutsu, taijutsu, also nimpo, just ways of being when you're on the water and understanding the difference between one thing and another, and when you need to act and when you don't need to act, and how to do it when it changes. Yeah. So now the wind changes, I just put the boat in a new place so it's good for it to be where it wants to be in the wind. See? And now we're moving. Constantly scanning the environment and feeling with my skin, and looking with my eyes, and feeling with my ears for barometric pressure changes, and feeling what the water is doing. Because in the shape of the swell here, even when it's tiny, you can detect how the wind was in the last hour, 15 minutes, depends on how strong it was. So there's traces everywhere of movement that was past, and there's traces coming. You can see what's happening and what's going to come in the clouds, so you're watching this all the time. There's also Chimon, looking at the weather. That's also about exploring the kukan around you all the time, watching, hear what's happening with the lines, feeling what's going on in the boat. So it's a completely active serenity. It's a sort of an awareness that's very wide open, but it's very pleasurable. And it's filled with known movements and known positions so that the rest of you can just relax and enjoy the sailing in a beautiful way, which is what we're going to do now for a bit. A little bit towards you. There she is, sailing the boat. Soft hand on this pillar. Got her bones connected to the boat. Just watching the front, watching the bow. Putting the bow on a particular spot, a little bit towards you. There you go, a little bit towards you. Yeah, there you go. A little bit towards you. Very soft movements. That's it. Nice. One variable at a time. So. Sails are cleated, course is fixed, wind is currently relatively stable, so we're just feeling the rudder. Yeah, is it nice?
It is nice.
Okay, and you're watching everywhere around you all the time. And the crew is watching.
Windsurfer.
Yes, you're calling out what you're seeing. Blue and white windsurfer over there, upwind from us.
Yes.
On the same tack,
Yes.
no problem. Enjoying the wind, feeling it. Yes. Very good. Beautiful sailing here. Very beautiful. Nice. Yeah, nice. Good. So the wind is changing a bit.
Yep.
Okay, feel it. So just come down a little bit. Let the sails tell you what they want. There you go. Perfect. All good. Yeah. A little bit towards, a little bit away from you. A little bit closer to the wind, a little away from you. There you go. Perfect. Nice, nice. Why? Because then you can feel. See? There. Watch the sail. Yep. Yeah, and just a bit now towards you. Just a bit towards you. There you go. Perfectly there. Exactly. Just there. Nice. Yep. You can set the sails to tell you. You know? It's like this is the right course for it to be on. What I do generally is I set the front sail for the right course, and then I adjust the mainsail to that, and then I cleat them both off and just make beautiful. Just actually whichever sail sets more beautifully. I set that one first and I trim the other one to it. Yeah. It's all about beauty. Sailing. Very nice. Cute little boat this. Look at this little block here. Super nice little foot block. Some nice cleats so you can sail it single-handedly. This is the boat we were in our little squall in. That was super good. Okay, so yeah, Ali's sailing the boat. Everything good. I'm talking, both hands free. Yeah. Oh no, she's sailing the boat! The world didn't end! Yeah, we're wearing PFDs. Okay, we're being properly sensible. Watching what's going on. Yeah, nice. Nice. There you go. Yeah, just keep feeling for that. Coming right up into the, close to the wind, and just let it, so push it away from you. No, yeah, push it away from you. Push it away from you. Push it away from you. That's it. Until it flaps. There you go. Now bring it in a little bit towards you. Now bring it a little bit towards you. A little bit. There you go. That's it. That's it. See? That was nice. Yeah. Beautiful. Nice sailing. Okay? So, constantly checking. Push it away from you a little bit. Yeah, until you see it flapping. Feeling for it, now towards you. There you go. So what you're doing, just like with skiing, is you're making little wavy motions. You're constantly coming up to it, coming up to it, coming up to it, pushing away from you a little bit, pushing away from you a little bit, feeling for it, then the power starts to come out just towards you a little bit. A little bit towards you, a little bit more towards you. That's it, small movements. There you go. And then back to the middle again. That's it. So you're doing small movements on the rudder, feeling for this kukan, the window of where the wind is nicest in the sails, where they are here. Because the sails are cleated, they're staying the same. So all you're doing is using the rudder to talk to the wind, to listen to the wind. Okay, and it doesn't matter where the boat's pointing, we're now going after the same feeling all the time. Cool. That's it. Push away from you a little bit, push away from you. Push away from you a little bit. Yep, good. Wait till it falls in gently, gently, gently. There. now towards you a bit. Just a bit. Just enough. Just a bit. Yeah. Soft movements. There you go. You're making sort of steady, deliberate movements like you would to a horse. Okay, it's like gently boat. There you go. So, a little bit away from you. Away from you. There you go. If the wind is staying the same, you can put the bow of the boat a little bit away from you. You can put the bow of the boat on a particular part of the land, and then just do the small adaptations to the wind you can just do from there. There you go, very soft. That's nice. Great, see how soft your hand is on the tiller there? Your hand is as much or as little as it needs to be. No more or less. There you go, nice and relaxed sail. Great. Looking around all the time, feeling the wind. Nice, nice. Good sailing, very good sailing. Yeah, see? You can do this. Second, third time in the boat, okay? You're good. Everything else is just maneuvering. It's all about the feeling. Yeah. Natural feeling. There you go. Gently. Gently. There you go. Nice, nice. Perfect. Wait a second. So, Ali is going to now demonstrate how you move around in a boat when there is weather happening, and you basically going to have a hand on the boat all the time, and you're going to be oozing like an octopus and staying nice and low. Yes. There you go. You see that? Perfect movement. Very good. Yes. Very nice. Nice. That's not nice. So now we're attacking back up because we need to actually get back up there again. It might take a while, and we don't know what the weather's doing, so we're going to do some nice full-sword sailing. Feeling for the boat. Yeah, all the time. Here it's kind of, a lot of the time it's just about, yeah, what do you do with this? More power, more control. Feeling for it, feeling for it. It's just a different feeling. Same activity. Yeah, so we have nice sailing going on now. I've trimmed up these sails both and I've got them cleated so that I can just work the rudder to get the most out of these nice gusts here. And I'm just looking around. It's like every time when I'm seeing the wind and I'm feeling it, I'm thinking about why is this wind happening this way now? What's causing it? And in this case I can see it's a thermal wind. I know that anyway. And I'm in the little funnel here, so I know it's causing it. And then the next thing is I look is like, okay, what's that next weather going to be happening? What does my environment tell me about what I can expect next, and where is it going to be coming from? And that's the, Chimon, look at the weather, meteorology, it's also this. Well, what is the environment telling you? What is the environment telling you about what's happening next? Very important concept in martial arts, right? Sometimes it just goes calm. Why? Here comes the next gust. There we go. Watch what the other guys are doing and see where they're sailing and what their sails are and how they're doing it, because they're smarter than you are, most likely. Combat schools, okay, how avoiding getting hit, avoiding getting hit by the boom as you're moving around in a turbulent environment on your knees. Of course, it's exactly taijutsu. Alright, kamae, movement from kamae to kamae, getting around the boat. So Ali, you want to move over here and just show us how you're moving from one stable position to another? Put your hand on one hand on the boat. Stay low. There you go. Stay in there. Good job. There you go. And you just work on where is the boat going. It's in just the right position. There, that's beautiful sailing. There we have it. That's beautiful sailing. Right, exactly what you do. Last. You see where is the sail bit? So here you see the sail is slightly bluffing. So just tap down a little bit until it's not doing that anymore. And then you know that the sail is optimal translation of this beautiful breezes to forward motion just go on. And then you can start to feel the boat. This is quite a beautiful boat. It's a sort of a plastic version of a beautiful wooden ocean-going dinghy. And it's great because it's basically unbreakable. We've been out on this boat in huge weather, big squalls coming in from the side there, and it just doesn't care. It's got a nice big fat keel in it, you can sit in the bottom, safe and lovely, and yet it still behaves in a nice way, and you can sail it. So we're going to do that for a while. I hope you enjoy. For ninjutsu, taijutsu, also nimpo, just ways of being when you're on the water and understanding the difference between one thing and another, and when you need to act and when you don't need to act. And it changes. Now the wind changes, I just put the boat in a new place. It's completely mostly wind. Constantly scanning the environment, feeling my skin, looking with my eyes, feeling with my ears, the barometric pressure changes, and feeling what the water is doing. Because in the shape of the swell here, even though it's tiny, you can detect how the wind was in the last hour, 15 minutes, depends on how strong it was. So there's traces everywhere of the movement that was past, and there's traces coming. You see what's happening and what's going to come in the clouds, so you're watching this all the time, watching on the weather. It's also about exploring the Kukan around you all the time, watching, hearing what's happening with the lines, feeling what's going on in the boat. So it's a completely active serenity, it's a sort of an awareness that's very wide open, it's very pleasurable, and it's filled with no movements and no positions so that the rest of you can just relax and enjoy the sailing in a beautiful way.
Good.
That's bitch. I know how to do this. Oh, I found my other sunglasses. I knew there must have been around somewhere.
There you go.
I think maybe these are even my Oakley stuff. That's close enough.
Sailing!
See, it's completely chilled like that. I don't have to do anything. I don't have to do anything. Just sit here and wait for to see what happens. So we're going to get some change of wind now. See it coming there?
Yep.
So since we see it coming, we just already going to prepare for it. So nice. Just going to go out now. The dude was like, oh, okay, you know what you're doing? I'm like, yeah, just when you have a boat, okay?
Yeah, I know what I'm doing. What is it called when sailors do this with the rope?
Coiling, sometimes flaking,
Flaking.
tidying up.
Tidying up.
Yeah.
I see this on dock.